can hear it. Guys, we are live right now in the Gameday Sports Bar group and on YouTube Live. So YouTube Live, follow Gameday Sports Bar. You can watch the Gameday Huddle. We are live right now. Gameday Huddle happening. Especially anytime it's on. This crazy weekend.
It's going to be a good one.
It's crazy. Jimmy wants to make it short, but it's not yet. It's too good. It's too good. So guys, make sure you jump over. Come see us on Gameday Huddle. Myself, Jay Up.
What up?
Jimmy.
What?
We are live right now, and he's going to be good in just minutes. Come check us out. We are live on the Gameday Sports Cards group, or you can go to YouTube, go to the YouTube page, and make sure that you guys follow the Gameday Sports Cards. He's live right now on YouTube. So check it out. Check Gameday Huddle out. Oh, and you got sports talk advice. All right, let's listen.
We are live
Live.
in Las Vegas, Nevada. Can we start calling this, we always have been the fight capital of the world, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're known, entertainment capital of the world.
we
We're
mix it?
soon to be the sports capital of the world.
Can we mix it? Make it the sports entertainment capital of the world?
Sports entertainment capital of the world.
We should.
That sounds kind of like wrestling, though.
We need shirts.
We need shirts. Yeah, I think that's going to be.
We need shirts.
I think that's going to be marketable.
Shirts for sure.
The sports capital of the world, because after this
entertainment
weekend,
capital.
sports entertainment, I gotta get that.
Yeah.
Sports entertainment capital of the world.
Yeah.
Because my God, as soon as the Oakland A's come here soon,
And
we're
win
gonna
a
have.
World Series.
We will hold the World Series.
Oh.
We are gonna have the Super Bowl in 2024.
Yes.
We already have the Pro Bowl coming this year.
Right.
We're hosting the NHL All-Star Game this year.
Yeah.
Like
The
what?
draft this year?
As sports fans being in Las Vegas, how good is it?
It's great. We get
Unless-
shirts. We get sports entertainment. We can even put SEC for sure. Is that taken already?
No,
Is SEC taken?
no,
I don't think so. I think
not legitimately. It's not taken. Well, I'm going to tell you. You said, what else could we want? Well, as a Chargers fan, I could have wanted the game to go a different way last night. But I got to tell you guys, before we even get into that game, because I know you guys are dying to talk to me about this
I
game.
am. I'm dying for it.
And I just have to tell you guys, and I have to be honest with you, we have to talk about how the day started before we talk about that game. And that was at 10 a.m. kickoff, there was huge things on the line for teams all over the NFL. Let's start the elephant in the room.
Let's do
right?
it.
The elephant in the room is the Colts. And go ahead, Jay.
how long have I been telling you guys about Carson Wentz?
Go ahead.
Okay.
The dude just isn't a winner, right? Like I told you before a few weeks ago, he's just a guy. Like he's not a bad quarterback, but he's not a very good quarterback either. He's just a guy. He's a guy. And that's what I've been saying all along. If you came to me and said, hey, listen, you're going to play 18 weeks, and at the end of that, all you have to do is beat the worst team in the NFL with the worst record, and you're in the playoffs. I'd be like, sweet, sign me up. I'm in.
Well,
that's all you had to do.
Wasn't it 2 weeks in a row? Because last week, if they would have won,
they had to beat the Raiders last week.
Yeah.
They had to do beat the Raiders last week and they're in. All they have to do is beat the Jaguars this week and they're in. And
the worst team in the NFL. Hey guys, beat the worst team in the NFL and you're in the playoffs. What team wouldn't sign up for that?
And
everybody.
And understand this, right? The Jaguars were the worst team in the NFL.
Yes.
Okay. The Detroit Lions were the second worst team in the NFL. The Detroit Lions didn't matter win or lose for them.
No.
Didn't matter. Had nothing. It wasn't going to change their world. Unless the Jaguars won and they lost, because had that happened, then they would have vaulted to the number 1 pick and the Lions would have had the number 1 overall pick and the Jaguars would have then been moved to 2.
You want me to tell you who don't give a shit about that number 1 pick? Dan Campbell.
The Lions head coach doesn't care.
And if you said something to you, he would just grab your neck and go, because he's that big of a dude that he'll just murder you that fast. So nobody will ever say anything. No pipsqueak like reporter will be like, how dare you guys win that game? Nobody will go in there because everybody knows this guy's trying to win football games.
I think he would just ignore the question if they said, did you know that you lost the number 1 pick by beating the Packers? He'd be like, next question.
No,
he's like, I'm winning football games. Yeah. I don't care if we're 0 and 17 or 16.
Yeah,
I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win a football game.
But if you're the Jaguars and you know that, right?
Yeah.
Then your risk is that you go out and you win this game, and right. So your mindset, you'd think, is to lose. Let's not play as hard, right? But instead, no. They go out. They beat the Colts. They ruin the Colts season. They ruin the MVP talk for Jonathan Taylor. I mean, everything gets ruined all in one shot.
Yeah.
That loss. The Raiders' loss is bad enough, but that loss.
Just the history on these two teams is that they've owned the Colts in Jacksonville the last few years. They have. They've beaten them the last few games by an average of 14.8 points, and guess what they won by yesterday? 15. 26-11.
Yeah.
They win by an average of 14.8 the last, I think, 3 or 4 times they've played them. They've owned the Colts in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And then this is what it comes down to. Carson Wentz has a chance because this is the first time he's played in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, I'm going to break it. And instead, he plays like the Carson Wentz we all know and love.
Yeah.
Which
he was reckless. It was okay.
Just
so
a guy.
That happens there. So now our AFC picture is like the NFL is throwing up huge hands right now. They're so excited because they now know that the Sunday night game is like the best flex game ever in NFL history. Okay,
right.
They know that this is.
They're patting themselves on the back.
Then you get to look at it. You go to the other side. The 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers looked like a Super Bowl team yesterday. They looked legit. They played solid all-around game. And that's what a Super Bowl team generally is. It's not usually we're really good on offense, we can't play defense. Like you kind of have both, right? The defense looked nasty, and now they are in the picture. And I feel like they're a team that didn't get talked about that might be one of those teams that people don't want to face. I don't know they go beat.
I don't want the Cowboys to play them, which is what our matchup is.
That's what it is.
So.
Well, you have to look at the number. Vegas is never going to lie. When they put out the numbers are what they are. Yeah. You get 3 points for every home game. So if you're the home team, they're going to give you 3 points. Guess what the Cowboys are favored by?
What? Probably 2.
3.
Yeah.
So that's telling you it's the most even matchup going into this game.
Yeah.
And you look at it, you're like, Jesus, like I wouldn't want to play either of those teams, the Cowboys or the Niners, because both of them at any time can put a whole complete game together and kick your ass.
And the Niners have that luck at depth at quarterback that if something was to happen, their safety net's in place. Because Trey Lance has shown that he can drive the bus when.
So you're saying Cooper Rush is not in the same category then?
Not even close.
Okay.
No. Their offensive coordinator is though, who's going to get a job. Your offensive coordinator is going to get a job.
I'd rather keep him.
So, all right. So we paved the way. Now we've got this happening. We got all that. Now we get to the game last night, and we all know that everyone's talking about the kneel 15 times, take it to a tie, like that whole narrative's out there. And then cinematically, and I think the quote of the night, and probably the best thing I heard on the broadcast last night was it Collinsworth? He goes,
Chris Collinsworth.
He says, if this was a movie, I would have walked out because the script is so unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's what last night was. And Herbert came back through adversity. He threw some picks that probably shouldn't, he made some mistakes. He definitely, the Raiders threw an incredible defensive plan at the Chargers last night.
Yeah.
Max Crosby. I'm just going to tell you guys now, we're in Vegas and we've been talking about Max Crosby. We love Max Crosby. Max Crosby was the individual disruptor last night, and it showed that he is a top 5 at his position in the NFL. And I will stand on the mountaintop and shout that to everybody.
Core number 74, I don't even know his name on the Chargers line.
Don't worry about it because he's not going to be on the roster.
I felt terrible for
Monday.
the guy. I was like, this guy is just getting eaten alive by every play. But like, if Crosby wasn't sacking Herbert, he was in his face. Yeah. He was hitting him right after he threw. Like, he was like on him the whole game.
It was horrible.
How does he keep going?
I don't know.
He didn't come out. He never comes out.
No.
He's like the only guy on the field that never comes out, and every play he's involved in.
And put it this way, right? 65 of the plays, it was go time for him.
Yeah.
Because Herbert put the ball up 65 times.
They threw,
65 times. Right? So when you think about that, like, I'm gonna give credit to the Raiders, but I'm gonna knock Raiders fans for a minute. If I hear another Raiders fan talk about Derek Carr needs to go, go ahead and become a Jaguars fan. They won, They won on Sunday. Because, seriously, Derek Carr has done nothing but pick that team up by its bootstraps, smack some people around, and get some results. And the Raiders are going to get healthier this week.
Yeah.
They've got a little bit more help coming. You know what? That was not the draw that the Bengals wanted. They would rather have had a shootout against
They're
the Chargers,
6.5-point favorites.
Right?
The Bengals are.
They would have rather. It's just because of what we've seen the last
because Joe
few
Burrow,
weeks. You got public is betting.
I honestly don't think they have an answer for Jamar Chase, though. I don't think they have anybody that can keep up with Chase.
The defensive back situation for the Raiders and safeties is a little worrisome for me. I think that's the weakest part.
It is, and they got two good receivers in Cincy, not one.
But that defensive line, and one of our really good defense linemen last night went out with a knee injury, so he's going to be done for the year, most likely. But if you have Crosby on that, that's going to be the name of the game this weekend. If Crosby can get pressure on Burrow and not let Jamar Chase and T. Higgins get deep, they'll be in the game. But if they chip him and they double team Crosby and they get no pressure, they're going to blow him out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, the game last night, it was an amazing game. The atmosphere was incredible. What a incredible cap off to an NFL weekend. There's so many other things to talk about, and some of those things to talk about in the NFL weekend, I had to mention this, is one, Joe Judge shouldn't even have boarded the plane yesterday. And you know what's funny? The week before, we talked about how he should keep his job. But I'm going to tell you now.
You're really going to hit me with the Giants?
I am, and I'm going to hit you with this. Hear me out, right? The dude ran 2 quarterback sneaks.
Yeah.
2 quarterback sneaks on back-to-back plays.
Yeah.
Back-to-back plays.
This. Did he really?
Yes.
On their own, 10-yard line.
On their own 10-yard line.
For what?
I don't know.
To punt.
Sure. Yeah.
Just to give the ball back to the other team.
It was the most egregious coaching thing I've ever seen in the NFL, and I've seen some really bad coaching talk, and we're gonna circle back to the Chargers.
It was third and 8 on their own 12-yard line.
And they didn't they were on there 4, and they didn't hand the ball off. They ran 2 back-to-back quarterback sneaks and punted. I don't care if you're out of it for the season. I don't care what you're doing, and on top of it, if that's your boy, and why are you running quarterback sneaks with your quarterback? Those are just completely egregious. And because of it, bombshell for you is Gettleman retired this morning.
Oh.
Not because he needed to retire, not because he was done in the NFL.
He was going to get fired.
He retired because they probably said they were going to keep Joe Judge. And he said, I'm gone.
So the two different, like we just talked about Dan
Yes.
Campbell earlier,
Yeah.
and now
Yes.
we're talking. So
The exact
one guy
opposite.
goes in there, has nothing to play. He has everything to lose.
Right.
The Lions. If they
Yes.
win this game, they lose
Yes.
the overall number 1 pick.
Right.
Yeah.
He don't give a shit. He goes out there to
crushes.
win the game.
Yep.
And then you get Joe Judge, who's has nothing to play for. He called 0 trick plays, and then he runs. Maybe it was a trick play he was trying to QB sneak back to back.
yeah.
Or
That's-
maybe he wanted to see what Fromm had, so to see if he wants to retain him next year.
Yeah, okay, because Fromm can throw the ball only
I'm
5
just
yards.
I'm telling you right now, it was horrible.
Wow.
Fromm should have put the ball up 50 times yesterday. They should have seen what he could do.
Yeah, showcase
They should have
him.
opened
Fly him
up.
out. Let's go.
And if anything, if he has a good showing and you're keeping Daniel Jones, you got something to move in
Hey,
the
it's
draft.
fine. I'm a Raider fan.
Right?
You know,
So
it is what it is.
that blew my mind. The other thing that blew my mind is the Bengals had all inactives. Jamar Chase was active
Mhm.
because they were going to give him a chance to break the rookie receiving record for yards.
Is it really,
It
though?
was 47 yards.
I know, but is it really the rookie? It's an extra week.
It still is. I think all these records still count because guys are hurt. It counts. I mean, at the end of the day,
I know it's going to go down
we
as...
move fences in the MLB all the time, and you don't talk about that against home runs.
I know, but a whole extra
do.
game
An entire
is a
extra game.
huge
It is.
deal.
Yeah, and
But
playing in New Yankee Stadium as a left-handed hitter is a whole new game.
Let's talk about when,
It
like,
is.
just in the 80s when they had 14 games only and they moved to 16.
I'm going to tell you right now.
No one puts an asterisk.
I got to
next to
throw this
16
out there
games
really
season.
quick because I've said this for years now. Paul O'Neill in the new Yankee Stadium would have hit 45 home runs a year.
Yeah.
Bonafide fide Hall of Famer.
Dude, he would have hit 45 a year. He would have with that porch. Anyways, when that changes, we don't talk about that. So
You're right.
here's the
Okay.
thing: Jamar Chase had a chance to go out and do it and did not do it.
They didn't throw him the ball, or what happened? I
They
didn't
No,
just
he had
weren't
three.
playing.
He had 3 catches.
Three
in the first.
catches, but it wasn't even.
He was in like on the first drive, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's weird." I was like, "No Burrow, no
Yeah.
Mixon, even Samaje Perine didn't play." There's a whole
Yeah.
whole
They
bunch
were
of
trying
inactives,
to
and
get
then
him
Chase was
those
out there,
yards.
and then all of a sudden he just wasn't. So he only played like the first drive.
All they had to do was run a couple of screens, and they probably could get that done
Right.
pretty quickly. But instead, they ran routes with them, and it wasn't. I don't know. To me, I was like, that tells me that maybe Burrow is a little bit more important to Jamar Chase than Jamar Chase is important to Burrow.
Yeah.
And that's just that. Okay, so I saw that, but then in a losing effort, right? The Dolphins didn't need to play a bunch of their guys.
Yeah.
Right.
And Waddle went out and broke the receptions record for rookies.
Yeah.
And it just, again, shows me that guy is going to be consistent. And when that regime that's in there, because that's the other thing I would
the
talk
regime
about.
you're talking about?
Right, he got fired.
Just got fired.
Right, and that's what I'm going to say is that
Which
on
was
top of
crazy.
that-
Nobody was talking about
He won
it.
8
That
out,
is-
8 out of his last 9 games.
And gets canned.
And gets
So I got to go on the record really quick with this, and I'm going to say this. Brian Flores
Yeah.
will be the first coach to have a job.
Yeah, he'll be hired right away.
For sure. In fact, I don't think he lasts the week.
No, they already said. I was looking at ESPN. They said that he's
I picked
already
Chicago.
a candidate for like a few different teams already. So it's
Chicago
like they were just
is-
waiting for this guy to get fired to get scooped up. I think that he turned that team around and they were going in a positive
So it
direction.
shows you the dumpster fire
No.
that
That's what
the
I'm saying.
Miami Dolphins
That's
are.
what I'm saying. I mean,
Chicago's the place to go,
yeah,
but I think he should go to the Jaguars,
Close to home.
right?
yeah,
I think that he should. And the reason being is because he's already in the area, right? And that team that the Jaguars has with the picks and things that they have coming,
yeah.
they've got a good opportunity to turn that around pretty quickly.
I know if I'm a coaching candidate and all these jobs are coming open, that Jaguar job's probably one of the top on my list.
Yeah.
If I get to go in there and I have Trevor Lawrence to be my quarterback for the next 10 years,
Yep.
I know
DJ
I'm safe
Chark.
at quarterback.
DJ Chark
You look at all the other jobs that
are.
are opening up,
Yeah.
none of them have bona fide, this is our quarterback.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no questions asked. You don't have to worry about that issue.
And he played well yesterday too. Like he looked really good
He's-
yesterday. Like you
he's
just gotta
the
give him
guy.
time. You just gotta give him time.
He is the guy. People are jumping ship right now and getting off of him because, yes, he is on the Jaguars, but the guy, there's a reason why people were saying he's the best pick since Andrew Luck played the game.
Well, would you rather have him as your coach, Flores as your coach, or would you rather have your Chargers coach that made the worst coaching?
Well, that was my next conversation piece. Is this?
And I know you don't agree with it. But
we have been talking about
terrible choice.
We have been talking about Harbaugh for a couple weeks now, and the discussion has been: is Harbaugh going to go to the Raiders? There's only a couple teams he wanted to go to. If I'm Spanos, last night when I got on the plane, I'd have went up my little box up front, and I'd got on the phone, and I'd called Jim Harbaugh and said, if I offer you the job, will you take it?
I would have said Harbaugh. Would you call timeout right there?
And if Harbaugh says yes, because I know Harbaugh will say yes to Herbert. Harbaugh will say yes to Herbert in a heartbeat. And that defensive secondary that the Chargers have that really could be something special, right? He would say yes. I would have gotten off the plane, and I would have fired Staley as he deboarded the plane. The dude has to go, not because of the timeout, which the timeout was ridiculous. It's the stupid 4th down calls.
Correct.
And he's got to go on. And you were talking about it.
I'm all aboard. Like, yes, I watched the game. I was right with you guys, sitting at the edge of my seat. Like,
the whole game.
Holy crap! What are we actually watching here? This is like, you couldn't have planned it any better. When they were down, what were they down?
15.
15.
They were down 15.
Yeah. 15 with less than 5 to go. Yes. And you're like, oh, this game's over. And then Herbert just comes down, 4th down. Boom. First down. 4th down again. First down. Yeah. You're like, what the hell? Then they get all the way down there. It's 4th and goal from
it was 4th and 21, and he threw the touchdown.
Yeah.
On 4th and 21.
Unbelievable.
And the throw was a freaking BB.
Yeah, it was right. There's only one guy could catch
if you wanted to see what that kid was made of, that throw, that's a number 1 highlight reel throw for him.
Yeah.
That thing was only being caught by his receiver, or it was going to go through a DB.
Yeah.
Like, it was not.
And so then you have that play. Then he has to get a 2-point conversion,
which
they pointed out.
It was his 5th option on that play.
It was a broken play.
Right.
Yeah. So he then gets the 2-point conversion.
And he's wrapped up when he's throwing the ball.
Correct. Yeah. It's his 5th option.
Right.
He gets that touchdown, gets the 2-point. Then they have to get the ball back again with less than 3 minutes to go in the game and drive back down there and score another touchdown.
Yes.
And they do it on the very last play of the game. There was no time on the clock.
On top of the catch on the sideline.
They almost had Carr on the fumble there too. Like, he fumbled the ball,
yes, they did.
and I can't remember I think it was 93. Rolled over on it, and it just popped out of his hands, and the Raiders recovered it. So they had to punt, but that would have been an even quicker score for them.
Oh my God.
The whole thing was crazy, but the Staley 4th down call early on his own 18 was egregious.
He was only down 3 points.
Right.
You're not down 2 touchdowns. No, you're down
egregious. 3. It was egregious.
And there's endless. We showed you what you could do in less than 5 minutes. He scored 15 points.
Yeah.
There was over 8 minutes left in the game. What the hell are you doing going, I'm all on board with that call. You're an idiot. You should be fired for that call alone. That just shows you that
and then you go back,
shouldn't be in the game.
They're only in the position they're in this season because of 3 games that he ran either going for 2 or went for it on 4th down in situations he didn't. They took a field goal off the board 2 weeks prior that ended up losing them a game. That just stuff like that. You look at it and you go, you know what? I don't care. And I heard Colin Cowherd talk about this, saying, or Jimmy Johnson on Colin Cowherd said, you don't look at a computer for that metric. It doesn't happen. You don't do it. It just, some of these young guys they're taking it a little too far. They're getting a little too wrapped up in what they can do.
Right.
And I liked Staley's approach with the team, but I lost a ton of respect when he walked in on one of the biggest game plans of the year and he popped up on the screen. Kevin from the Christmas movie.
McAllister?
Kevin McAllister and his game plan on the house. And he used that as a game plan lesson to his offense. And I'm just going to tell you, I was sitting there and I saw this and they made a joke about it and the Chargers thought it was all cute and fun and social media thought it was neat. And I was sitting there and I'm going, this guy does not take what he has for seriously. He's driving a freaking like you're driving the best of the best.
You have a quarterback that's the future of the team, obviously, and just think about how the players must feel. Like they put their trust in this coach. Yeah. You listen to your coach. You do everything he tells you to do, right? And then you have a chance, and it's clear to everybody. Everybody saw what the Raiders were doing at the end of that game. They were barely past midfield. They were not in field goal range. And then you sit there and like, okay, it looks like the Raiders they're okay.
Clearly, do you want to see what the Raiders were doing?
They were trying to win the game until that point, and then they decided, like, you know what? Like, we both kicked each other's asses for the whole game and overtime. We're happy with going to the playoffs.
Ended in a tie.
Yes.
100%. That game should have ended in a tie.
Until he called a timeout for no reason. And I don't care about the person.
Let's play it.
Go to the clip.
People keep wondering why Brandon Staley took the timeout. I think he just outsmarted himself. He comes out in the 4-2-5. They're in 11 personnel, tight end, running back, 3 wide receivers. So Brandon Staley has the right package out there. 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers. This is pivotal. Kenneth Murray was on the field before the timeout. 5 defensive backs. This is pivotal. Remember, Kenneth Murray was on the field before the timeout. Brandon Staley's deliberating, but what they say in football, think long, think wrong. This is where he makes a mistake. He changes personnel groupings. The Raiders, they're still in 11 personnel. They still have a tight end on the field. They still have 3 wide receivers in the running back, but the Chargers no longer have inside linebacker Kenneth Murray. They only have number 44 White, which means number 24, the safety, has to be that stacked backer position. Number 24, all he has to do is follow number 87, this tight end, back across the screen. Number 44, move with the tight end. 24, move with the tight end. You'll walk into the tackle. But because number 24 is a safety, instead of a linebacker, when 87 goes, number 44, just go. 24, replace 44. Y'all will walk into the tackle. But 24 is a safety, not a linebacker, because Brandon Staley changed the position grouping. Number 44 just blocked himself. Oops. All you got to do is move with 87. Number 44 should have walked into the tackle.
Okay, so all he had to do was shadow Moreau.
Yeah.
Moreau. So all he had to do was shadow Moreau. That's it. Mm-hmm. And he makes the tackle. And the other DB should have went with him because the whole goal is that he's on the running back, so he should have then been shadow. And at least they could have got him maybe a little short of that down. Then, though, everybody's like, well, the Raiders talked about, and Derek Carr said it in his interview after, that they basically were going to go easy and wrap up the game that way, right? And that was the game plan until Staley called the timeout. So Staley calls the timeout, gets the wrong personnel on the field, puts the wrong guy in the wrong position for a play that I'm pretty sure my mom was watching the game and my mom knew the Raiders were going to run the ball.
Carr said flat out, he told him in an interview right after the game and then in the press conference after, he said that timeout changed our mindset. Like, we were happy with going into it. Like, yes, they were trying to win the game. They're playing to win. But at that point, at midfield with less than a minute left, they were like, you know what? Like, we've played our asses off. We're okay with going for the tie. We're both going to make it. Well, who cares about the Steelers?
On first down,
who cares about the Steelers?
The Chargers called the perfect defense that they should have called all 3 downs.
Yes.
Max rush blitz, pick every gap, and stay in your gap. The first down play, they tackled him for a loss.
Right.
Because they blitzed everybody up in all the gaps.
Yes.
He had nowhere to go. That should have been the same exact play call for 3 straight downs.
Mm-hmm.
However, and I know what got the young coach in trouble for the Chargers is they went into shotgun on 3rd and 4, and he said, oh shit, they're going to throw the ball.
What do we do?
He wasn't thinking, hey, there's only 48 seconds left in the game and time ticking down at this point. Like, he didn't think of that in that moment. That's why he called the timeout. And once he did that, it screwed him. Because then he took his linebacker off the field because he now thinks they're going to throw the ball. So they put in a different personnel in there. If you leave your linebacking crew in there, they stop him in the backfield and the game's over.
Yep.
And they're in the playoffs. And I'm pissed because you cost my Justin Herbert, and he's my Justin Herbert, a chance at the playoff run. Now I have to wait another 12 whole months to get back to the same situation so I could cash in on my Herberts.
Even the players, though, you saw on the sidelines, the players were shocked. Like, you have the one clip with Eckler.
Show the clip. This
is a short one.
This shows you guys. So, Austin Eckler is just told, we were going to take a knee. We were going to take a knee. And he's like, really? Wait, what? Really? So here's the other thing. If you're a player going back in that locker room, and you're hearing that on the field before you left the field, your faith in your coach just went out the window.
Yeah.
And they played their ass off.
They deserve to be in the game.
Every player on both sides played an incredible game.
And I know I'm going to get flack from Pittsburgh Steelers faithful because I know they're a large community, right? But I'm telling you the Pittsburgh Steelers do not deserve to be in the playoffs. I don't care about Ben Roethlisberger's last game. I don't care about how he's riding off into the sunset. I don't care. I don't want to see Ben Roethlisberger throw it 50 times for 175 yards because all he does is little two-yard dump-offs.
They are going to get destroyed.
And
exactly.
The Ravens would have been there.
And congratulations, you get to play the Chiefs. So you didn't make it on your own. You had to have these two teams beat up on each other. I thought that both the Raiders and the Chargers played well enough. And yeah, you could say, oh, well, if they would have won this game earlier in the season or if they would have this, they would have been in and didn't have to worry about it. I get it. But so could the Steelers have. And instead, they were dependent on these two teams beating up each other and one of them winning. And I don't think they deserve to be in the playoffs. And now you have Ben Roethlisberger going to the playoffs for his final game or whatever, and now they're going to go with their asses kicked by Kansas City.
Yeah, what is that line? 12.5 or something like that?
Congratulations.
Put it at 30.
Take him under 200 yards passing too, by the way.
They're going to 100%. They're going to beat the shit out of that team.
It's going to be...
They can't run the ball because they have a terrible offensive line. So you have Najee Harris, who's a great running back.
Who's
he can't
amazing.
Run. Yeah.
Did you see the catch he made? The one-hander running backward.
He's got nowhere to run.
And the dude still didn't hit 1,000 yards for the season.
He only had 2 games over 100 yards.
And he had an
because
incredible
they can't
season.
block for him.
Yeah.
Like, the team is not that good of a team. Their defense is okay. Ben Roethlisberger's way past his prime. It's sad. It's sad that Herbert's sitting on the couch watching, and Ben Roethlisberger's going to be in the playoffs for no reason whatsoever.
It's one of those things where we were definitely going into this. All of us, I think, were like, "Oh, week 17, great. Let's see, or 18, week 18. What are we going to expect?" All of us thought it was going to be shit games.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it started out in the morning like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even watching at 10 o'clock. Every 10 o'clock, I'm always right at my TV, ready to watch football. This weekend, I'm like, who gives a shit? No one cares. No one's even playing. And then I get an update on my phone about somebody from here text me and said, oh, the Jaguars playing tough today. And I'm like, let me look at this. Oh,
yeah.
They're winning.
And they just kept scoring. It was like 13-0 and then 16-3. And then they were up 23. And I was like, the Jaguars are going to win this game because Carson Wentz sucks. And that's going to open the door for all these other possibilities.
And I'm telling you now, that game yesterday, not only did it ruin the Colts season, it ruined Jonathan Taylor's
MVP talk. He's not in the MVP conversation anymore.
Not at all.
So Aaron Rodgers wins that kind of easily, right?
I think the argument is Brady.
Oh.
I think that you might actually have people vote Brady.
Okay.
I don't.
You know why they're going to do it?
I don't either.
Aaron Rodgers lied to the media.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't like him.
What a liar.
Because he lied to the media about his Vax card, right?
But he didn't lie about it. It was he led them down a different path.
Right, of course.
It's those
He's
lies
a magician,
that we tell our wives, like,
right.
It's not really a lie, but it is a lie. We're trying to, hang out with the buddies for, 45 more minutes, and then we say, oh, sorry, it took too long to get the check. When actually, no, it was just ordering another round of beer.
Well, that's I'm telling you now, that screwed up so many things for a bunch of people, right? And all this weekend. And there was something else that was awesome this weekend, though.
One thing,
something you saw.
One thing I saw this weekend was
live
in Las Vegas, baby. Let's go. Flurry was back in Sin City, and it brought tears to everybody that was in there, because if you're a fan of the team and you were here from the beginning, like all of us are, we're all locals. We've been here almost pretty much for the last 20 years, basically. I've been here my whole life. Jay's been here his whole life. I know you've been here how long?
18 years.
Yeah, almost 20 years. And we all fell in love with the team.
Yeah.
I was a hockey fan, kinda, going into the Golden Knights stuff. And then once, that happened, and then we had the tragedy of Route 91, all that stuff going down, We fell in love with this team.
Yep.
We saw it live. And going to watch a hockey game live, there's nothing better.
There's nothing better. And, this guy coming back to town, we all knew it was going to be a big emotional game. Fans are getting crushed, though, on how they, kind of beat up on Leonard during the game. And I'll be honest with you, as tight as that game was, you can't tell me that Leonard's psyche was all in it with the way the fans were responding to him.
The first goal that he gave up was very weak.
Well, yeah.
Very weak.
I get it, but still, and I understand it happens, but, the thing is, and my buddy said it the best, and he said, in sports, right, the nameplates change. And when the nameplates change, you need to support your guys if you're a fan of the team, if you really are. Give him his moment, let him do that stuff, let him make a great play, and give him a little cheer for it. But then at the end, support your guys.
Well, and that's all of us. When we were there at the beginning during the tribute and beforehand, we're Flurry, As soon as that game started, we were like, F you, let's go!
Yeah,
Flurry, you suck! We're yelling at him, trying to get people in his head. We were all Golden Knights. Yeah. At least, me and our guys here and all the people that are around us, because that's who we support.
But it was just every time he made a save, the fans all cheered. And that was the thing, and that's going to be a knock. That's going to be a knock on Vegas for a while because a lot of hockey people are going to be like, "That's not a real fan. That's not a real fan."
But are we
that's
real
the
fans?
knock.
And that was the knock on, but that's the knock on Vegas in general is that they're not. You know what I mean? That there's that's the knock on Vegas in general. They're not.
You
real
guys don't
fans.
appreciate what you have. Well, no, we do. And Jack Eichel's coming back, so don't worry about it.
Just wait until.
Just wait till Golden Boy shows up.
Just wait. In about 3 weeks time period, we're gonna see a whole different team on the ice.
Yeah. It's gonna be unreal
with Mark Stone, Pacioretty, and Jack Eichel all on the same line.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's literally an all-star game line.
It's going to be literally incredible to watch, and I can't wait. Hopefully, we get a good long run into the playoffs, and we get to go to some games and talk about them here. But it was definitely fun. Steve, we appreciate the tickets. You were able to hook us up, so thanks a lot. Yeah. We had a good time down there, and hopefully, there's many more this year.
Yeah,
we'll see how it happens.
Yes, definitely. Plan to go.
All right, moving on to our one and only fantasy expert here in the booth. Because I'm definitely not. Jay's Fantasy Roundup.
Might be the fantasy expert period for the store.
Yeah.
For the store, I like that.
Yeah,
because
I think it is.
If you look around, none of us have a clue about fantasy. We can't win.
Well, we're
Jay's
actually
in finals in every league he talks about. So.
I know, always.
Yeah, I did cash in pretty decently. So the one thing we want to move on to a little bit is basketball. Obviously, you still have your NFL playoff challenges that you'll be going with, but those are a lot of different ways those are run. Let's talk a little about basketball, though. My pickup of the week is a guy that not maybe a lot of you have heard of, is Jared Vanderbilt from the T-Wolves. He's a power forward.
Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt.
The school?
Like the school. It's spelled the same way, too.
Absolutely.
Jared Vanderbilt, power forward from the T-Wolves. Last night, he was 10 of 14 shooting. He had 21 points and 19 rebounds, but he also had 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. It's his second straight double-double, and in Yahoo leagues, where a lot of people do play fantasy basketball, he's available in almost half of leagues. So he is a guy that, some people in the fantasy community have heard of, but for him to be available in almost 50% of leagues, jump on this guy, plug him into your lineups right away. Dylan Brooks hurt, right? Now, with Dylan Brooks being out 3 to 5 weeks or saying his ankle, Desmond Bane is a guy we want to talk about, right? And I know you want to talk about him a little bit, and we'll get to that in a minute, but Desmond Bane is a guy that we really want to talk about. He's a shooting guard, but this guy's been lighting it up, and he's really, really going to be successful with Dylan Brooks out these 3 to 5 weeks.
No, absolutely, and I think being quick on fantasy. Another add-in my opinion, is Giddey.
Josh Giddey from OKC.
Josh Giddey.
That's right.
The dude's on fire. The dude is definitely playing solid. And if you watch the game and you're a fan of the game, this guy is a little more skilled than Poku, a little bigger, a little stronger, a little faster, and he's a white dude. So he's not going to quite get the buzz and the credit that you're going to get, but this guy is going to be consistent. He's going to be steady. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times, the white player gets he had a couple of days, he was good. And then, and even this year, Grayson Allen's a nice pickup too, right?
Yes.
Grayson Allen's another guy but it took Grayson Allen 3 or 4 years to get any respect. Giddey might be that way, and you might be able to grab this guy and take advantage of what he's going to put up and do now.
Before you move on to yours two, one more guy I want to mention too is Anthony Simons. I don't know if you guys have been watching what he's been doing lately, but he's given them enough. He's given the Trailblazers enough, I guess, enough showing of what he can do to let them be able to maybe even move Damian Lillard or CJ McCollum and try to move away from those guys, because this guy's
the guy.
Yes, this guy's been on. Dude, this guy's been on a tear. I was just looking it up on Yahoo earlier. He's averaging 29 points. Shooting 54% from the floor.
He's averaging 29?
51% in three-pointers to go with almost 6 threes a game, 7 assists, 2.5 rebounds, and 3 turnovers a game is what he's averaging.
And then
he's bringing the ball up.
If you leverage his time on the court, I saw this stat. Nurkic is getting it's like 2.5 more rebounds during that same time split. With him on the court, because he's spreading the defense out and Nurkic is able to take over down low.
Yeah, now this isn't for the whole season. This isn't for the whole season, Jimmy, because he hasn't been a starter because of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
Right.
But for the month of January, which is about 10 days now, he's averaging those numbers.
Wow.
Like they're off the charts.
Really cheap.
Off the charts. He's also available in 40%.
We know somebody that knows him really well, so we might be able to get some autographed stuff coming in here.
The dude looks like a star right now. If you watch him play, go check out some highlights. The dude looks like a star.
I will do so.
Portland needs that.
Let's move right into the plus and minus investment portion of the day with Steve. Let's go.
Well, we're rolling right back here to a name that just got mentioned, and it's funny because we didn't talk before the show today,
No.
so the fact that Jay came in with fantasy for this guy and I'm coming in with investment on this, and that's Desmond Bane. Now, guys, this card you're seeing right here, and yes, it's a college uni, but it's
that's pro.
Oh no,
I
it is
got
pro.
the pro
Sorry,
one.
it is pro.
Yeah.
This optic auto was available for less than $150 today. And the optic autos in basketball, you guys all know, they draw huge premiums, and especially when they grade, decent. This one's probably a little off cut, but I just wanted to point this out. Dude, his base rookies can be picked up for less than $4. And the guy has shown that he can be Morant's Batman. And that is going to be a very good thing. He's averaging 18, 5, and 3 right now.
He's got big muscles.
Right? So Desmond Bane is a definite buy right now, guys. Like, this is an opportunity for you to jump in on one low. And I would bet that by playoff time comes and playoff run comes, your Desmond Banes are probably going to, I'm guessing 4 to 5 times what they're going right now. There's no reason that auto shouldn't be a $400 or $500 auto for this kid. He's legit. He's showing you he can do it, and he's doing it in all aspects.
And he basically has a month to showcase everything he's got. So if he can prove that he's earned a spot, that's only going to be the plus for him.
Well, that's the thing, is that he's going to get more court time now too, which means that might inflate those numbers, and that's going to be the "what have you done for me lately?" Look, I'm telling you guys today, this is your chance to get in on this guy at the lowest point. I would bet you in the singles box out in front there, Desmond Banes are sitting in that box. I'll bet you we could flip through there and find him because he was kind of an afterthought. With that said, his court mate, John Morant, and I know everybody's like, John Morant? Yeah, John Morant's a buy. I don't know that if you guys are buying John Morant the right way, but you should be out grabbing any PSA 10, any BGS 9.5 that is a rookie, even a base, because you've got stuff like Morant optics going for under 200 PSA 10s. You've got base mosaics going for $80 PSA 10s. Like you can't even grade them for that right now, right? Yeah. And you can buy these cards, and you could buy stacks of Morant slabs right now. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't need the eye test to see what the guy is, he's the best player on the court everywhere he goes. He went to the Nets, and he was the best player on the court that night.
The dude's
over
a stud.
Durant. Yeah. He was the best player on the court.
I think he's going to win MVP this year. I think he's been putting up the numbers.
Well, and if he does, every one of those cards is doubling in price.
Right.
So you want a nice investment, go out, buy, and start scooping up that 2019, 2020 product that's not ripped, guys. Yeah. Because there's a lot of really good stuff in there.
It's came down a lot in price. we had
because of Zion.
Yeah, we had the Zion boost,
Exactly.
and everything kind of went inflated big time.
Yeah.
Now there's no Zion boost, but you still get Ja, and you still are going to hit Zion, and maybe one day
Zion started
pushes
rehab
together.
again. He started his assignment. They're
We'll
saying
see.
that they think
We'll
he's
see.
in. They think he's in.
Game shape?
No, they think he's in Portland, going to that crazy. There's a crazy doctor up there for feet and legs and stuff, and he's doing all of his stuff. So they think
He
he's
needs to go
getting
to
there.
like India and go up and like find a monk somewhere in the
Yeah,
mountain
he does.
where he can't eat.
I'm Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, and the guy just like massages him. Like,
Yeah.
they do the Wagyu beef over in Japan. I think that's what he needs.
That's what
where
he
he
needs.
can't eat and they just massage him to get him back into shape.
So, so I want to point this out because I think that this is something every once in a while we need to go back and look at stuff. We've talked about it with the investments that I've given. I've given you guys some investments you've been able to take advantage of. You've been able to actually see real world numbers happen 2 weeks later with Mac Jones and all this stuff. A couple weeks ago I came on and I said buy Trevor Lawrence. It's the cheapest you're going to be able to buy Trevor Lawrence. Okay? You're going to have a little bit of a window right now. If you had Trevor Lawrence and you're like, well, I want to sell it this year because I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence, your window is right now, today, while there is coaching speculation and his week on the field and them beating the Colts and all of that stuff. I've already seen about a 15 to 20% price increase on him since 2 weeks ago. I mentioned that, which means you're already up 20% if you went out and listened to me and bought Trevor Lawrence stuff. Those autos are popping up. They're going. The auto that went for $3 is now selling for $360, $375, and you're seeing this happen. So we already knew that Trevor Lawrence was this. I still believe he was the best quarterback in the draft. But I will tell you guys this, is that usually you don't get that little window of, well, you could sell and then probably sell now. And if you really wanted to buy it back right before the beginning of the season, you could probably buy it back for the same price. Mm-hmm. This is going to be your little spike. And then depending on what they do in the draft, you could see a big, swing and upside, and what they do in coaching hires.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Trevor Lawrence is going to be coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're going to get the pieces around him. All they need is decent players, and the guy's going to make them look good.
Yeah.
And I already told everybody, Prism got pushed back again. It was supposed to come out next week. It got pushed now to the March.
Yeah,
which is crazy. The season's freaking over, and you have the number one premier product that's going to release when the season's over, which
it makes no sense. Like
zero sense. So I don't know why they're doing it. I think they're having a lot of issues. Panini is right now with the supply chain, getting the product, getting the stuff made, and a lot of things keep getting pushed back. So now it's March.
Let me ask you a
I
question.
will be buying Trevor Lawrence in March.
I ask you a question, right? In the past, if you were in a relationship, but you kind of had your eye over here on another relationship, were you really all in on your relationship? No. Panini's not all in on their relationship right now. They're so freaking scared because of the Fanatics acquisition of the licenses. Then the Panini was banking on the fact that Fanatics, you don't know how to make cards. You don't know what you're doing. Oops, we bought Topps, right? They bought Topps because they didn't know what they were doing. So why don't you buy the company that does at least know what they're doing? And then you can go ahead and turn your marketing into it and be everything it's
And I think that you can go around and ask everybody. Any collector that's been around for a long time, everybody's going to tell you Topps is by far the best cards that come
when
out.
Topps Chrome Football comes out
Oh my
in
god.
23,
Yeah. Insane, right?
game over.
Topps Chrome Basketball coming back.
Yeah.
You know what that's going to do back
And
for the hobby?
Bowman Chrome Baseball.
You still have them all.
Like
You're
you'll
going to
have
be able
all
to,
that together. It's going to
Correct.
be nuts. Like
It's going to be insane. I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens with the distribution lines and how we're going to get product here in the shop. And
the CEO did go
We'll
out
see.
and said that he had a whole plan for hobby.
yeah,
The hobby
And
shop.
we'll see what
influx,
happens.
So
he
But-
says he does not want to, and he's came out numerous times and said that he does not want to kill the hobby shop. He knows that's where a lot of the product's going to be ripped.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about the products, so that's what we have to look forward to. We'll see what happens. It's all wait and see. Nobody really
And
knows.
No one knows.
But that acquisition at top. So if you're Panini, and this is what I'm saying, if you're Panini, you're not paying attention to what matters the most, which is delivering your solid product for the year now.
No, but you see how greedy
Yeah.
Panini is
Uh-huh.
by now before you only got first off the line stuff that you
Yeah.
could buy on the Panini website.
And now they sell.
Then they first started it out where they would do an auction and you would bid on it and the product, it would sell out as the auction's going. Now they do a thing called the Dutch auction, if you're not familiar with, where they start it at a ridiculous high price and then every 5 minutes it moves down $20 and $20 and $20. So now all of us card investors and buyers are buying this product at a speculation of what you think it's going to sell out at. So I ended up buying the new product that just is coming out this week, Zenith. I ended up buying 5 notches too high. So guess what? I had to buy an extra case, just to get my margins down low enough to where I could sell the product and not even make any money. I'm going to break even on the product because I had to buy at such a high point just to make sure that I get it. So they have this Dutch auction and where they're maximizing their money. They went all in on the NFTs because guess what? They already have the images. Mm-hmm. They create the image to make the card. Yep. So that now they just take that image and slide it over here into this group, and then they sell it. It's endless amount of monies for them on that aspect. And now they're selling other products, not just the first off the line products. They're selling on release day products for the highest price out there. You can buy the product for cheaper, even in our shop. Guys will come in and be like, "What the hell? You're selling this for $450? It's $550 on the Panini website." Yeah, no, that's how it goes sometimes. Mm-hmm. We sometimes are cheaper than the place where you can actually go buy it right now. Right. Because we get stuff at allocation costs at times. So don't get me started on the whole. Yeah. I'm fired up about all the stuff that's going on.
And you should
right
be.
now.
Well, and the thing is that this show on top of it, when we start talking about the new product releasing and the issues that you've had, not knowing when things are coming and things being dropped, like when Best gets dropped on Friday, right?
And Super Jumbo gets released 5 days after the actual product gets dropped. Right. Like, what the hell is going on?
Like it's and that being tops. I mean, but what I'm saying is that all the issues in the industry with that, like all the issues of being able to have stuff in stock, be able to keep yourself, in stock. Like I get it. It's a tough time in that, and I think we also have Mosaic football coming this week, right?
Mosaic
so Scenic and Mosaic, and Mosaic's going to be hot. Mosaic is going to be hot, and that's going to be the first time that you're really going to see what the value of Mac Jones cards are. And what the value of some of the other quarterbacks are.
Especially with the push. They push Prism back 2 more months.
So Mosaic's it. That's it.
It's going to be the one for the next 2 months that people are going to want.
Investment advice.
What about Select?
Buy Mosaic as soon as it releases because that's the cheapest you're going to be able to buy it for because it will be a third more to half more probably within a week to 10 days. It's going to happen. So if you want to buy Mosaic, as soon as it cracks the shop, run down and buy Mosaic. Because you're not getting it cheaper. Okay.
You said it, but that's with like almost every product that's coming out lately. Yeah. It comes out. Yeah. Bowman Draft came out. We sold it here in the store for $425 opening day. It's over $500 a box now. Yeah. Every single product, if you just go and buy a couple boxes, put them on the shelf, you can't lose right now. Everything's going up. Everything keeps going up. Yeah. Buy on opening day, sell, and hold it and see what happens. All the product keeps going up. Yeah. But once again, this is our second episode here into January. Thank you guys very much for tuning in and hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys. We will be back next Monday with some playoff football. I know we'll all be hyped up after the playoff weekend, talking more fantasy basketball and other stuff that happens for us during the week. So once again, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Let's go Monster Hunting.
We do have Jay's halftime blitz tonight.
National championship game.
National championship game. And right after this, if you download the Drip app, go over to Drip. Make sure you go to Drip. We should be on soon. We've got a few things to work out here, but we're gonna try to get on Drip and do a little bit of rips on Drip. So
personal rips on Drip.
That's right.
All right.
Game day.